Hi, welcome to The Truth with Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal, this is Isaac, and this is The Truth. This is episode number 13. Today we're going to talk about the huge Stafford trade and our Super Bowl preview. We just want to do a quick shout out to Amadeo Albano and Urban Palmerell for appearing as guests in our last episode. You guys were awesome, really good feedback, and we are going to incorporate some more guests into the future. Check us out on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcast, or YouTube. Isaac, want to talk about cool merch we got?
Yeah, lots of stuff. I've got some stuff hanging behind us. We don't sell Tom Brady jerseys, but once he gets on the show, we'll start selling them. He'll give us some.
Yeah, you know what? I think we should start reaching out to Brady and Paul Pierce, right? The Truth.
After the Super Bowl.
After Super Bowl. Yeah, he's probably busy.
Crew necks, t-shirts, hoodies, quarter zips, all sorts of stuff. Message us. We'll start posting some stuff on the Instagram.
Cool.
Which is The Truth with T and I.
Yeah, The Truth with T and I. Off the top, couple things before we jump into the agenda. Freddie Van Vliet, 54 points. Awesome. Unfortunately, guys like Freddie Van Vliet make the guys who are like 20 years old and playing rec basketball think, oh, if Freddie Van Vliet can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, like undrafted players, cool, right? Like Duncan Robinson.
Yep.
Miami Shooters starting for the defending Eastern Conference champs is undrafted. Van Vliet is taking over from Lowry, right? Like quietest triple-double ever. We heard Lowry got a triple-double. No one talked
Nobody
about
knew about it.
And Van Vliet, like, I actually thought he was going to leave. I didn't think he was going to re-sign in Toronto, but they, like, if we just talk about Toronto, they got to make a move. They don't look great.
Tough.
Pascal Siakam's just been figured out.
Yeah, Spicy P, what's his nickname?
Spinny P.
Spinny P, that's all he's got.
He's Giannis, just a lot weaker. It's very similar.
Red Wings still suck. That's okay. We're in tank mode. Signing day, not terribly interesting. Alabama, Ohio State won again. The unfortunate thing is college football is not as interesting for the masses. Yeah, you're still interested in rivalry games, but only one of 4 or 5 teams have any chance of winning. Be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years.
And those teams are your Alabamas, LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, teams that are Ohio State that are just dominant every year. There's a lot of talk about going into a March Madness type thing. What basketball has, probably not to that extent, but a 16-team bracket where you'd have to space it out, right? Because you can't play 2 football games in 3 days. Like, they'd have to figure that out or something like that. But they got to change things up for sure.
Yeah, and the idea is you expand that so you get all sorts of notoriety. So the teams that are debating Oregon and Michigan and Penn State and Wisconsin, the guy who lives in Indiana has decided, okay, do I want to go to Wisconsin or do I want to go to Alabama? Well, they just go to Alabama because, you've got all the hype.
And we're Michigan fans, so if we were one of those 4 teams, we would not be complaining.
For sure.
But, Michigan's not there, MSU's not there. It's only Ohio State when you look at Big Ten.
Yep. And obviously they have lots of big checks at Alabama and Ohio State to write these guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're dirty. That's the truth.
Lots of checks to play their players.
Lots of dirty. Oh, yeah, for the players. Patrick Reed, little golf shout out. Patrick Reed is a douchebag. He really is. He's the most hated dude in golf.
Who?
Yeah, Patrick Reed.
Who asked? No one asked about Patrick Reed. Move on.
Okay.
Next topic.
Tennis. Tennis is huge. Australians coming up. Bianca Andreescu and Milos Raonic. Tennis is awesome. I heard some guys are playing tennis all winter long in Essex County. Like -7.
Agenda. So
-10.
We are going
prison rules.
Enough tennis talk. Matt Stafford trade. We're going to spend some time on that. I think we're starting with that. And I'm going to put timestamps in the bio. So if you're on YouTube, you can see that. But also on any podcasting places, I'll have the stuff there. So we're going to start with Stafford, talk about our thoughts, and then go into Super Bowl predictions. So basically with the Stafford trade, it's pretty simple. There's 3 winners. The Rams win, Stafford wins, the Lions win. Do you agree?
4 winners. Houston and Watson win.
No, that everyone in that situation is currently losing right now.
No, because Houston. Listen, if Stafford got 2 first-round draft picks and a third-round pick and Goff, Houston's going to say, "Give me 5 first-round draft picks." Now, I know they're not going to get that, but the value for Watson is going to be enormous.
The Watson situation is ugly, and I don't know how similar it's going to get to Harden. Another Houston dude who demanded out. But, like, if you're a Houston fan, you lose Harden, who I'm sure they loved. And then now you're going to lose Watson, who is universally loved. Everybody likes Deshaun Watson. So that'll be
The
interesting.
Astros, they did win the World Series. And cheaters.
And everybody hates the Astros.
Everybody hates Houston. So, not fun to be a Houston fan right now.
So the Rams. So all the big media places, like I listen to a lot of podcasts, I watch a lot of sports. They're only talking about the Rams and Stafford out of this. We're going to spend like a minute on that, and then we're going to talk about Lions and what this means for you guys. So the Rams win. They get a really good quarterback with a lot of weapons around him and a really good offensive scheme. Sean McVay's a really smart dude, a good coach. Their window to win is right now, next couple of years.
Yeah, because they have no first-round draft picks, right? In 6 years.
No picks, no cap.
The Rams are just going to be trash.
Yeah.
Listen, I like risk, and listen, we're in the sports game because we love sports. We're in the interest game because this is super interesting. Like, man, what a great trade before the Super Bowl. I mean, the period before the championships games in the Super Bowl is 2 weeks, so normally that drags on. This was a lot of fun just because of the Stafford trade. Do you want to grade the trades now, or do you want to wait till afterwards?
We'll do it as we go. So, like, what the Rams get and what the Lions get?
Yeah.
So I'll give the Rams an A-. I think it was a really good trade. Was it risky? 100%. But you don't win championships by not taking some risks. So I think it was an aggressive move, a move that got a lot of attention. And, like, we'll be rooting for the Rams to succeed. You want to see Stafford
100%.
win.
I like the Rams as an organization. Sean McAvoy is... How do you say his name?
I just said it. McVay.
McVay, yeah. Sean
James
McVay.
McAvoy is the actor dude you're thinking of.
Okay, yeah, got confused. Anyway, he is an amazing coach, and I think he's going to do great things with Stafford. But listen, unfortunately, Stafford's going to throw some untimely interceptions.
Yeah.
And I hope they make the NFC Championship game. I hope they get a run. But I only give the Rams a B. Just in totality. Problem is they've got no picks. They've got very little depth because they've had to trade away so much stuff.
Cap.
They get injuries. They're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
It could work out well for them. If they get a championship, even if they make the Super Bowl, I think it's a win. Right now, I'm giving the Rams a B.
If they make the championship game, the conference championship, that's definitely a win. If you look at their division, Niners, who made it to the Super Bowl last year, and have still a really good ball club. The Seahawks, who are always going to contend as long as Russell Wilson's their quarterback.
Yeah.
And
Arizona.
who's I don't really love
Kyler Murray,
Arizona.
but they got
They're
Hopkins,
young.
and they got some guys.
They're young, and they have the best receiver in football.
Yeah.
So it's a tough division to get out of. I don't think they'll make the conference championship. I want them to, but I gave them an A- because it's getting a lot of people talking, and it's going to make
Lots of guts.
the Cards and the Hawks a little scared now.
Yeah.
Right? Like they look pretty good in the playoffs without a quarterback.
Okay. So enough Rams talk. Yeah, good for them. But LA, they'll be interesting, and they'll have tons of primetime games.
Oh,
So
man.
Stafford's going to get lots of
We'll still see him a lot.
lots of exposure. So Lions, man, I love this trade. So Brad Holmes, you've been the GM for about 15 minutes. You have a huge set of stones because you've been the GM for 15 minutes, and you just made the biggest trade in Lions history.
Did more than Bob Quinn did positive in his tenure.
Yeah.
I'll say that now. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
And Matt Millen,
yeah, like I love the trade. So like A++ is what we're gonna grade the Lions.
I put it down as a solid A.
Okay, give me A+ then.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
There's so many reasons. So many reasons. I don't mind Goff. I really don't.
I agree with you completely. He's not a guy to write off.
I don't think he's great, and his contract is terrible, but he's a great quarterback to have on a team like the Lions and the rebuild that they're going to start now. I love it. So if we look at what they got a first next year, first the year after that, a first in 2 years, first in 3 years, and
So
then
2022, 2023,
and then a third this
year.
So that's what they got, plus a starting quarterback. So there's some reports about what other teams offered them. There's a few. I'll run through them. This was the best one by a lot for the Lions. The Panthers offered 8th overall and a late round pick. So let's put that as like a sixth round pick. I don't really know, but let's say it's a 6th or 5th. So 8th overall is nice, because then this year,
boom, 7-8.
You can get
pick
another
a defensive guy, and then you're picking a quarterback,
or a wide receiver.
Yep.
So that was the second best. Washington offered 19th overall and a 3rd. The Colts, this is weird. I don't know if this is true. Never offered the 21st overall pick, but had a ton of other packages, which seems strange. And then the Niners and Jets discussed, but never really got close. So I read this on a few places, so I think it's pretty legit. Not 100% sure, but if we take it as, it's real, the Rams had the best offer, for sure.
Yeah, now, how much of coming back to the Lions was because the Lions took on Goff? A first-round pick?
Maybe. Probably. But, I'm totally cool taking on Goff. He's 26.
Fine.
He took him to a Super Bowl.
Listen, Alex Smith was a number 1 quarterback taken overall, I think, by San Fran.
Yeah.
And he just never did terribly well in San Fran. This could be like an Alex Smith scenario where it turns around and Goff... Listen, Goff is not going to do anything for the next couple of years because the Lions... pretty sure I can play linebacker and Isaac can be defensive tackle in the Lions next year. They are going to be poop.
Yeah.
It's okay. They're admitting their poop. They're playing the long game. Dan Campbell's going to chew off kneecaps. Actually, Dan Campbell's getting lots of good pub.
So much.
Yeah, it's
right?
fun.
Pencil Man, Matt Patricia, no one ever talked about him positively, whereas Dan Campbell, no one's talked about him negatively yet.
So, did you hear the funny thing about Stafford? He said, trade me anywhere except...
Yeah, let's spend a minute on New England. Let's spend a minute on that. I'm kind of surprised by it. I understand New England doesn't have a lot of weapons, and Stafford wanted to go to a place with weapons. I don't think it's because of Patricia.
I think it's 3 reasons. 1, they have no weapons.
Yeah, that's 1.
2, I think Patricia is a douchebag like Patrick Reed, and he didn't want to be involved with Patricia. I don't think that's really high.
Okay.
But listen, Belichick is a beast, and he is going to beat on you. Stafford's 33 years old. He's got a super hot wife, a nice family. He doesn't want to practice 8 days a week.
That was the main factor. Weapons, yes. Patricia, I don't think it's a huge factor. Patricia's like an assistant to the assistant to the assistant, basically. Like, he's getting them coffee. So... No, he is. So I don't think Patricia, he will never be in the same room as Stafford. So that aside.
Only if he's dropping off a cappuccino.
Only if he's bringing
Mrs. Stafford, here's a cappuccino. He's probably going to take a sip of it on the way.
The Patriots culture, the Patriots system and culture is not one for a 33-year-old beat-up quarterback to join.
Yeah, Cam Newton didn't have any other options.
Yeah, Cam Newton had 0 options.
Yeah, and it actually didn't really work out well for him or for the Patriots.
And that's why I think that was the big reason. Stafford didn't want to buy into this late in his career. 20-year-olds, if they traded him when he was 27 or 28, which wouldn't have happened, but if he was, younger and not as beat up, yeah, probably could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just want to, you talked a couple of good things about Goff, and I agree with you. Goff is a good community guy. He was well liked by his team. It's just like the last couple months, he had some injuries, had some INTs this year. He did not have that much of a bad stretch, and I think he does have some potential.
That system isn't great for him. It's vertical zone, you're stretching the field, a lot of play action. That's not really Goff's game. So no. I don't think McVay's scheme works with Goff.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Okay. So, the Lions, I love it, but let's talk about the draft. So, I did not think they were going to get a guy like Goff. I thought they were going to just draft, a Zach Wilson or Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're 7th overall right now. There's a couple options. I don't think they take a quarterback here.
In the first round? Mm-mm. I 100% agree with you.
I don't want them to. I don't think they will. I think Goff is going to be here for a couple years, for sure.
Yep. I think, you take a late round flyer, like the dude from Florida, maybe Trask or something like that. If he's available in the 3rd round, maybe you take him, right?
I'm okay if you spend the
third round pick. But 1st round, 2nd round, I think you're picking guys who are going to be 5, 6, 7-year starters, right? Micah Parsons.
I like Parsons.
Smith, one of those dudes. Yeah. Waddle, wide receivers.
So I think they go wide receiver. Wide receiver, it's really tough to say with Golladay and Jones. But there's 3 sweet receivers in this draft. And then there's a bit of a drop back. Smith, Waddle, and Chase. 3 great wide receivers, all good prospects. I'm okay with any of them. At least one of those three will be available at 7. So you can get one of those guys at 7 for sure.
Yeah, I think you go defense if you can.
If you tell me it's
Patrick Surtain, Micah Parsons.
Waddle, Chase Parsons are on the board at 7, I want Parsons.
I agree.
It's not like you're picking 3rd overall and you have to make a splash, right? 3rd overall, they picked the safe choice in Okuda, which up until this point has worked out terribly for them. Until this point.
Trash.
Whereas 7 overall, it's a lot different from 3rd. And Parsons is a really good prospect. So is Okuda, but it's tough for a corner to jump in and be like a lockdown from day one. Whereas Parsons, I think, can be a starting linebacker come week 1.
Yeah, and it's funny. A few years ago, middle linebacker, unless you're a rush linebacker, your value really dropped. But now teams are seeing like the value of a White with Tampa.
He's so good.
Devin Bush with
good Michigan guy.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, good Michigan guy. They can really have a significant impact, especially with all the short passing, right? They can like blast wide receivers and tight ends over the middle, and hopefully they can rush the passer and drop back in coverage, right? A lot of teams are playing the 2 deep zone, so your linebackers have to drop. It's good analysis, eh?
Yeah.
That was good analysis.
Yeah, a lot of studying for that one.
Yep.
I
like Parsons. I just need to talk about Matt Stafford again for a second.
Sure.
He was a really good soldier, and thank you. You took a lot of punishment. Like, man, thank you, Matt Stafford. We'll miss you, buddy. He's probably listening.
Yeah, I'll give him a call after. Actually,
yeah.
We'll just go on like a little FaceTime with Matt and the family, and wish him well in LA. He's for sure out of Detroit by now.
Miss you, Kelly. See ya.
He's gone. Like planes landed, they're unpacking right now. Like he's so far out of his suburb. So are we done with Stafford? We like him a lot. We hope he succeeds.
Yeah,
but
win. Interesting. I'm super interested to see what happens with the rest of the quarterback shuffle, but this is the first big piece, and I love the lines. They said they were going to be aggressive, and they are aggressive. Weaver, Holmes, I like these young GMs that are shaking it up and recognizing that they are not going to win anytime soon, so let's just get some building blocks to win long term. Right? I'm 51. I'm thinking by the time I'm 60, there's going to be a championship somewhere in Detroit.
9 years, one of the 4 teams. I don't think so. 70.
Oh, come on.
70 years. When you're 70?
Nope. 60.
60 is the only deal. Okay, wait. So Parsons is available, and all 3 receivers are available. Who do you want? Smith, Waddle, Chase are available, and Parsons.
Parsons.
I agree. Okay. I want Parsons at 7.
Good. Super Bowl preview.
So
awesome. I mean, way too much attention is being paid to the quarterbacks, and it's hard, right? It's the key position. This is the Hollywood Mahomes Brady, one of the best quarterback matchups in history. You want to talk about that first?
Go for it. Yeah, you go for it.
So I did spend a bit of time, right? Obviously, I've been fortunate enough to experience a lot of Super Bowls. Like, I listed 5, and I put Mahomes Brady at this point the number 1 matchup in Super Bowl history. Tom Brady, Kurt Warner was a really good matchup a few years ago.
Yeah.
Joe Montana, Dan Marino. I think it was his 2nd season in the league. 48 touchdowns. He was just leading the league. Like, he put the league on fire. Throwing to Mark Clayton, Mark Duper. It was a lot of fun. Montana Elway, also a very, very good.
That's up there for sure.
Now, but here's the problem. It was going in, you think it's great. Well, that was the game that the Niners won 55-10. Like Montana was just throwing bombs. Yeah. And then the last one, a couple years ago, a little bit before your time there, young blood, Roger Staubach and Terry Bradshaw. That was a good matchup in I think it was 77 maybe.
Like on paper, the best matchup up until this point on paper is probably Montana or Elway, Montana.
Yeah.
Right? Like if Mahomes wins 5 rings in his career and goes on to be great, and Brady finishes with 6, then this probably surpasses that.
Yep.
But it's hard to say right now.
Is this only Mahomes' 3rd year in the league?
Yeah, he's 25.
That's awesome.
He's 25.
So his first year, he only played 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Alex Smith started the first 15 games, and then Mahomes came in for the last one. And then, so his first year as a starter, he won, or did we miss a year?
No, he lost in the playoffs. He lost in the playoffs one time for sure.
Was that when he took over for Alex Smith?
Maybe, because Brady beat him in the playoffs one time, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, if Mahomes wins 5 rings and Brady finishes with 6, this is the best.
Quarterback matchup, be awesome. Anyway, it's fun. Now, I just have a couple comments and thoughts. Listen, Patty Mahomes is going to put up a lot of points. He's got 2 weeks to rest his turf toe. There might be a couple guys who, because their barber got COVID, who might not be able to play, but Robinson, who's actually a decent wide receiver, and some other dude who I don't know.
Some O-lineman, right? Or a lineman?
I don't know. Not a starter, backup guy. But KC is going to put up points. So this is not going to be a slugfest game. Tampa is going to have to be super aggressive. The Moneyball dude who says, oh, no, on 4th and 2, you have to punt or you have to kick the field goal. You need to put points on the board.
I agree.
I'm not sure about the science of going for 2, like in the first half.
Ooh.
But I think you got to throw out tradition and realize, okay, Mahomes is going to put up at least 30, 34 points. Tampa has got to think they got to put up a 40 spot to win.
So I want to talk a little bit of defense because we've heard a lot about Mahomes Brady. The Bucs defense started off, so they're very talented. Started off pretty slow, like the entire Bucs team, and then now like they're playing their best ball right now, which is a good time to start picking it up. Like Devin White is an animal, and there's a lot of if Mahomes Brady doesn't win Super Bowl MVP, who are the guys? Hill, Kelsey.
Well, Hill had Evans. About 220 yards in the first 10 minutes.
We'll get there. But defensive guys like Tyrann Mathieu for the Chiefs and Devin White are 2 that come to mind. So the Bucs need to limit Hill, right? Hill had like 200 something yards in the first quarter. It was 17-0 Chiefs after the first quarter. If Hill can have 100 yards after the first quarter, that's better than 200.
Yeah.
Right? Kelsey is going to eat you up no matter what on 8-yard, 10-yard catch and runs.
See, and I think actually the focus needs to be on Kelsey. Right? Kelsey just kills other teams, and it's, again, easier said than done. Kittle, Kelsey, 2 best tight ends in football.
Yeah.
I think you got to focus on Kelsey. Hill has some games where he's unbelievable, but Hill also has some games where
I'd love one of those.
Is weak, right? He runs wrong patterns, then he blames stuff, and then he doesn't run the pattern out. He gets a fair amount of targets. Yeah, he gets lots of balls, and he's unbelievably fast. You get him in the open field, and a 7-yard out becomes a 47-yard out. But I think the focus really needs to be on Kelsey over Hill.
So I disagree. Just Hill stretches the field, right? The reason why Kelsey's able to get all of Mahomes, they're not even check down. Sometimes they're first options, right? They'll send Hill on a streak and just say run, and send 2.5 dudes with him, and you can dump it to Kelsey underneath. That's why Kelsey racks up 10 catches, 110 yards a game.
The Tampa Bay safeties, are they going to get healthy and play? Because that's obviously going to make a difference.
I think they're a bit like health. Like Antonio Brown is questionable. Looks like he'll play.
He's a douchebag too.
I don't like AB.
I mean, nobody likes AB, but he had an opportunity this week to atone for some of the stupid things he's done in the last few years. No, I pretty much blamed everybody else. Again, we talked a little bit about Rodgers saying stupid things last week.
Brown says dumb things too.
Pardon me?
Brown says
stupid. Like, Rodgers a little bit of a bitch, but
a little bit. Don't get me going.
No, but he doesn't do illegal things, right? Like Brown rapes people and steals stuff. I think
he's messed up in the head. Like actually, I think football might have gotten the best of him. I seriously think that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So the Browns or the Bucs, you gotta control Hill a bit, and the big thing is you gotta get to Mahomes. If Mahomes is able to sit in the pocket all day, he will tear you apart. So that front 7. Or the front
Jason
4.
Pierre-Paul,
JPP's got to get there.
Shaquille Barrett,
Shaq Barrett,
the defensive end.
They need to get to him.
Props to JPP, right? Like 3 or 4 years ago, this was his hand. He had no hand.
Yeah.
But he's come back and he's amazing.
He played. Yeah, he's had a really good playoffs.
I think I saw the stat that he is the player that had the most number of years between Pro Bowl or All-Star appearances or whatever it's called. Because he was awesome 7 years ago, and then he wasn't very good, and then he messed up his hand, and then he was okay, and now he's a beast again.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit offense. The Bucs wide receivers need to play up to their abilities. I'm tired of the stupid drops and the
Yes.
running the wrong route and the complaining. It's the Super Bowl. You're playing with the best player of all time. Smarten up and make some plays, please.
Yeah, Evans is an amazingly talented player. Make plays.
I'll put Godwin there too.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think Godwin's very good. I think Godwin is very good. Oh, listen, I think Godwin is very, very talented, but he has not done very much. Obviously, we watched more Tampa this year than we had in the previous 3 years, or probably 10 years combined. But Godwin's got to step up. Evans, no dumb drops. Like, I think Gronk is not going to get targeted a lot, but
He'll have a couple big plays.
Yep, he'll have a couple big plays.
And they might be pancake blocks in the open field on a screen.
And they'll be targeting Gronk in the end zone. Even just, I'm assuming because the championship games, there was not a lot of flags pulled. I think there'll probably be more flags in this game.
Yeah.
Which actually helps KC because Tampa is not as disciplined a team as KC is.
If it gets to flags, right, the big thing was like Tampa Bay is a team that gets a lot, like, they'll get 11 penalties a game. They didn't average that, but they'll get 11 penalties in one game. Yeah. That kind of thing.
Yep.
So a little bit of Chiefs talk. I don't expect the Chiefs to run the ball much at all. I really think if Mahomes has to throw the ball 55 times, he will. I don't think they're going to really try to establish a run early on, other than the odd draw play or counter or something like that, or on the goal line. They'll probably run the ball because they don't stat pad as much as other teams that didn't make didn't make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry, Packers.
Yeah. Sorry, Jackson.
I think they'll run the ball very, very few times throughout the game. Like, I don't think they have a solid running game. And
they don't even really seem to throw their running backs very much. Bell, they target a little bit,
but not really.
But not a ton.
And the big thing is, I think Chiefs are going to do some goofy stuff. Like, Super Bowls, sometimes we see trick plays. The Chiefs do trick plays in, like, week 6 of the regular season.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to do some goofy stuff. Is Tampa going to be ready for it? I don't know if Tampa's going to run a bunch of... Like, I would not be surprised if you see a flea flicker with Tampa or something along those lines.
Like any of the skill position dudes that both teams have, can anybody chuck it?
I thought AB could throw.
You know what? I think you're right. Well, Pittsburgh used to do a bunch of fun stuff as well.
I feel like AB can throw.
Yeah.
Gronk probably can because he's awesome. Like, Gronk could probably throw a little 15-yard throw. Yeah, so the Chiefs...
Gronk's a little like Waterboy.
Yeah, good comp. That's a good comp.
Yeah. Fake field goal.
And the Chiefs, we talked about the Chiefs, or the Bucks getting pressure on Mahomes. The Chiefs, if they get pressure on Brady has not been great under pressure this year.
Nope.
And if they're able to get to him, it might be ugly.
What's the big Chandler
Jones?
Yeah. Is that their defense?
Yeah. Chandler Jones or Clark Jones, something, I don't know. Jones. So let's talk. So a couple questions, then we'll do predictions.
Okay.
Before we wrap things up. So I have 2 questions. Who has more to lose, Mahomes or Brady?
Mahomes. I think Brady, this is all bonus for Brady.
I 100% agree.
He's 43. He went to Tampa, who's pretty much sucked forever. And he didn't just bring them to the Super Bowl. He's getting probably, like, he deserves a lot of credit. Actually, I think he's getting even more credit than he deserves.
It's tough. Like, stats are one thing, intangibles are another thing. Like, he's a pretty good locker room presence.
For sure.
So who has more to... Mahomes for sure.
Okay.
Who has more to gain? This one, I think, is a better question. So while you think, I'll go. I think Brady has more to gain, but you can definitely make the argument for Mahomes. So I say Brady because he shouldn't even be here. So if he walks out with a 7th ring against a team like KC, that's going to be huge. But you can say Mahomes because if Mahomes is able to finish with 5 or 6 rings and take down Brady while he's at it, that's going to be pretty good for his legacy too.
I mean, listen, both of them have good points, but I got to go with Brady, right? Brady gets this ring, then he's in and probably sticking his head above the Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky kind of GOAT talk.
Yeah, like he's the best football player of all time.
Yeah, right. I think he's the GOAT for football. But best team sports, then you start talking about all time, right? So Serena Williams and Jesse Owens.
It's tough if you go
Jim
individual.
Thorpe. Ooh, Jim Thorpe.
Your boy Jim. If it's tough to compare, tennis or a boxing. If you look at team sports,
for sure,
best players in team sports history, your guys are Brady, Bill Russell, Michael, Gretzky. Off the top of my head, that's coming.
Yeah, Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth are probably a couple of names to throw at Mickey Mantle.
Yeah. If you want to go older there's a bunch of older baseball guys you can pick out. But like
Gibby, Alan Trammell.
Maybe a little bit of reach.
Chet Lemon.
Maybe a little bit of reach for Chet Lemon.
Okay.
But like Mahomes or Brady's going to be up there, and if he wins today or Sunday, he might be one. Like right now, he's top 5 for sure, maybe top 3.
Yeah, he wins, man. It's a mic drop, walk off. Just put your hands in the air.
But he's not retiring.
No, I don't think so. No, he's just going to walk around. He's just going to be a god for 6 months.
He's not going to I think he's got definitely a couple years left.
I thought he was going to play this year and next year.
I think did he sign a 2-year deal?
He did.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why he did go to Tampa, because solid foundation in 2 years. But after watching him this year, I think he plays 2 more years.
It's hard to so like let's say they win for argument's sake, because that's like if they win, it's more likely that he retires. If they win, he's not going to retire. Next year, assuming he stays healthy, they're not going to make the Super Bowl again. Probably not. I want him to, but they're probably not going to.
See, I think Brady has to have a bad season and then retire, and he's playing so well. There's really not signs that he's going to have a bad season next year.
So let's say he does have a bad season. Let's say they lose in the wild card round
next year.
I don't think he leaves. Like I don't think
because I think he's still got enough of an arm and enough presence that he can take it one more year. And then let's say his age 45 year. Is he 43 right now? Yeah,
he's 43 right now.
So it's 44 years, okay, right? He gets 22 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. They lose in the wild card, or they 8-8 or 9-7. They don't make the playoffs. I think Brady's probably still a decent player, but then that following year, he's gonna be like, okay, win or lose, I'm done.
So let's say that happens next year, where they're okay next year. I think he comes back. Like I don't think one bad year is gonna make him retire. One bad year,
Yeah.
I think eventually we're going to see a steady decline, and it's not going to happen in 1 year, right? Next year, let's say he doesn't play very good, and the Bucs aren't great, goes down, comes back for a year, kind of same thing, a little bit worse, then he leaves. But, if he doesn't play very good next year, and then comes back next year, and is great and is in the conference championship or the Super Bowl, he's coming back.
All right, enough Brady talk. What's your prediction for the game?
You go first.
So I've got Chiefs 38, Tampa 31. Actually, not as close as the score indicates.
One more time, what'd you say?
Chiefs 38, Buccaneers 31.
Okay.
So Chiefs cover the spread, and it's not as close. I always say, to be tied, and Mahomes will score a late touchdown.
No late touchdown?
No late touchdown. I think Tampa jumps out to an early lead, and then Chiefs just go on a huge run. Tampa can't stop them. The Bucs score a late touchdown to bring it a little bit closer, but too much firepower.
So 38-31.
38-31.
It's a lot of points.
It's a ton of points.
Yeah.
Taking the under, I have no idea what the...
I check now.
Okay.
It's like 3.5, 4-ish.
You go top.
So, we're big Brady guys. I'm tired. Like, I thought the Saints were going to beat him. He beat the Saints. I thought the Packers were going to beat him. He beat the Packers. My gut tells me the Chiefs are going to beat him. But I'm 0 for 2 betting against Brady. 31-30 bucks.
Nice.
Look, like...
And that's pretty... The spread, or the total points right now is 56.5. So you're closer than I am, obviously.
What's the spread? 3?
3 points.
So I'm going 31-30 for Bucks. MVP, who do you have? Mahomes, Brady. Like, let's say Mahomes, Brady, take them out. They both throw 8 interceptions.
That's a good bet. So Kelsey
if the Chiefs win.
Yep. I know you want to say White.
I want to say White because I hate most of the guys on offense.
Nah, it's probably Evans.
It's probably I'll go.
Not Leonard Fournette. You know what people are saying? Leonard Fournette's
Fournette.
playing well. I don't think he's playing well. He has a couple of decent runs a game, a couple of decent bursts, but most of the time it's like, I'm just going to run into my offensive lineman's bum and fall ahead for a yard.
If you think Fournette's playing well, you have not watched every offensive or a good chunk of their last couple games. You've seen a few highlights, maybe.
Highlights. He's had some plays, but
I'm not going Fournette. I'm not going Evans either. Actually, I'll go Ronald Jones.
Oh, that's a bit of an upset.
Because if the Bucs win, they're going to have to run the ball a couple times.
And what's your score? 31?
31-30, Tom Brady, Buccaneers.
Actually, it's funny. So we both have Tampa scoring 31 points. I've got Chiefs scoring 38. You've got them scoring 30. Young Blood's got Brady, and Old Blood's got Mahomes, which is a bit of a dichotomy here, so that works out perfect.
Yeah,
That's a good word.
I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm tired. I'm tired.
It's fun. It's
I'm
fun to pick
tired
Brady.
of saying that Brady's going to lose. The Bucks are going to lose. So I'm give me Tom and the Bucks. With
Awesome.
Ronald Jones.
Good.
If Brady doesn't.
We just want a good, fun Super Bowl. Enjoy your Super Bowl party. Not. If you go to a Super Bowl party, you're a douchebag. Stay home. Watch it. Text your buddies.
Thanks. And we have to. She's probably not going to. My mom, his wife's probably not going to listen. So we're going to watch Super Bowl with her. So it'll be us three. So, during commercials, during halftime, there's a good chance I leave. Just go for a walk or just, get away from the TV.
Who's the singer guy? Weekend something?
I think it's just the Weekend.
I'm going to call him the Weekend Warrior. I don't care.
I hate the commercial stuff, the halftime stuff, the pregame stuff. I'll care about the postgame stuff if the Bucks win. But if the Chiefs win, I don't care about it. So she's going to be so invested, I think, during the breaks, especially halftime stuff. Whereas, we will barely be there.
We're going to go time for the football round.
Or something.
Yep.
We are not, the commercial stuff, and it's unfortunate because there's going to be more stuff than ever this year, I think. Right?
Okay. Yep. Let's wrap it up. Thanks, everybody. That actually means another round, but that's okay. Let's cut it like this. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. And remember, merch for your sweetie. See ya.
Go Bucks.